You're listening to Brain Lenses, a show about how we perceive the world, ourselves, and each other. I'm Colin Wright. The extended mind thesis posits, among other things, that our minds are not limited to our brains or even our bodies, but instead extend into the tools we use and even the spaces we occupy. This isn't the sort of thing you can prove. It's more a framing of how cognition occurs and where we tend to draw the line between self and not self. Inclusive in this thesis is the possibility that we can offload information, memories, but also know-how, into external tools and storage. If I write down my memories in a journal, that journal could, in some framings, serve as sort of an external hard drive for the computer of my mind, holding information about things I've experienced and thought about, but also jogging brain-stored memories of the same. If I use a physical calculator to compute a sum, that calculator could be construed as a component of my extended cognitive capabilities, the same as counting on my fingers, but a little more complex and powerful. Another concept, trivially important semantic context, pours a bit of cold water on some of the more expansive claims made by proponents of the extended mind thesis. Namely, we seem to be prone to overconfidence in our own capabilities and capacity when exposed to what are sometimes called fluent experiences. In this context, a fluent experience might be watching a video on YouTube or reading a passage in a book. The idea is that being exposed to information of this kind can lead to an internalized sense that we are more capable and knowledgeable than we actually are. There was a study in which folks were exposed to a 3-minute video of a pilot landing a plane, and viewing this video increased research subjects' confidence that they themselves would be capable of landing a plane in a pinch. Piloting a plane is an incredibly specialized undertaking, and it's unlikely most of us, lacking training and abundant luck, would be able to take the controls from an incapacitated pilot and successfully land the vehicle without significant outside help. Nonetheless, research shows that people who have seen pilots land planes on videos, read about the subject, or even just seen similar things happen in films or on television are more likely to believe they would be capable of doing so. This belief is almost certainly overconfidence, and that overconfidence would seem to be the consequence of our categorizing fluent experiences, like watching a short video about piloting a plane, as actual, practical, personal experience, equivalent to ourselves having piloted a plane and thus knowing how to do so. This would seem to reinforce the claim that we use tools and knowledge stored in our environment as if they were our own, and it raises concerns about the disparity between what we know versus what we think we know in an age of abundant and persistently accessible, fluent experiences of all shapes and sizes. You can find out more about Brain Lenses, including how to support this show, and in return receive an additional episode of the show each week at brainlenses.com. You can also support this and all of my projects at understandery.com. I'm Colin Wright, and I'll talk to you again next week.